It's Madden NFL 23, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Saints and the Falcons, and it's coming up next.
It's the National Football League, presented by EA Sports. Today, our new season begins with an NFC South matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, here to welcome you to another NFL season. Always an exciting time, CD. And I tell you what, new is the opportune word here for these two division rivals, Atlanta and New Orleans. A couple of faces who have helped define this rivalry behind center, they're now gone. This is going to be an interesting one to watch.
And let's face it, it's a rivalry that always will blaze white hot, but it's definitely different now. Drew Brees gone 1 year from the Saints. Matt Ryan gone the next year from the Falcons, although he's still playing in Indianapolis. This is two teams in flux a little bit, trying to find their footing, although New Orleans still remains confident they can get back to the Super Bowl. Atlanta building for the future.
Set to go, Younghoe Koo ready to do the honors. And off we go on EA Sports. Taken in at the 3. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by a 3-time Pro Bowler, owner of over 35,000 passing yards in 11 seasons, the veteran Andy Dalton.
I love his football IQ. I love his ability to have people rally around him. And as he likes to remind me all the time when I get ready to call one of his games, I can run it a little bit too. A nice presence to have on your team.
Dalton right to the air. There's Chris Olave. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1, a lot more to go. They get this to Smith on the jet sweep. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, I sure wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this as this game goes on, because we know they like to use their wideouts either on quick throws or on jet sweeps like what we just saw there. And to say that that one worked well, partner, that's stating the obvious.
Dalton's throw caught by Olave. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
The receiver factor at Ohio State turned out an NFL-ready deep threat this year in Olave, who New Orleans jumped up to get at number 11. The Saints learned lastly they need another defense breaker in their receiver room to allow a little bit of space to throw underneath. Sub 4.4 speed and the history of turning deep routes into touchdowns made Chris Olave their guy, and he gets them the first down.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. A nice opening right away as he'll maneuver his way up to the 32-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. On second down, Kamara. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. And and they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
They run. It's Johnson. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
Here's Dalton. Olave over the middle. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that's going to make it fourth down. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
Atlanta sending its offense out for the first time, and for the first time since 2008, it's a rookie who will handle things at quarterback. Out of Cincinnati, the third-round pick, Desmond Ridder.
You'd have to look hard to see why Atlanta had this kid as one of the top passers on his draft board this year. Desmond Ridder is a proven winner who left Cincinnati with the third most wins in college football history with 44. Never lost a home game in a 4-year career and made the Bearcats the first Group of 5 team to ever reach the college football playoff.
Beginning on the ground with Patterson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Marcus Davenport there to take him down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. But Charles, a look now at the Falcons 2022 draft class, and you see with so many of their picks, especially early, they were really focused on getting guys who could contribute as starters right away, and guys who had plenty of upside to develop as they try to do this rebuild the right way.
And as you described, what they think is a difference maker at wide receiver, Drake London, they took him 8th overall. He goes right.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Pete Werner, and the Saints are going to take possession of the football. When the rookie QB gets his first touchdown pass, that's one you put in the trophy case. First career interception, that's going to be one he wants to forget.
Yeah, and he's not going to go ask for the football, right? Yeah, you can keep that one. The key for him, what does he learn from it? When he watches the tape, does he have an answer right now where he already understands what mistake he made? That's what the coaches are going to want to know, and that's what they'll grill him on and see how he grows from it.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Dalton. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Kamara. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down. Dalton now to pass. Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Kamara trying again. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara taking it in from 7 yards away as his guys are able to extend their lead. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So for the 2nd time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. They run with a veteran of 8 years now. It's Melvin Gordon, and he'll get a couple up to the 29.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. This one left side caught by Patterson. And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. There you go, Charles, the first completed pass of his young career.
And we expect it not to be his last. Very good to get the first one out of the way, though, as he begins his career.
Throw left side. There's London. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta, 2nd quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it 2nd and 7. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this day, has got to be priority 1.
Ultra. Go ultra.
They'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. We'll remind you that coming up tonight, the first Sunday nighter of the new season. And how about this for a matchup? The Buccaneers and the Cowboys from Dallas, 8:20 Eastern. Then tomorrow, Monday night, just one game here in Week 1 this year. And it'll pit the Broncos and Seahawks as Russell Wilson makes his Bronco debut. And, of course, where is it? Seattle. Coincidence? We'll let you decide. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Now in his 6th season, Kamara just continues to be one of the best dual-purpose backs in football. He's never missed a Pro Bowl, and he has the most total yards in the NFL since entering the league in 2017. He actually played in his fewest games in a season last year and still had over 1,300 yards.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And out of the air, Dalton. And this one is incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Andy Dalton. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. Cordero Patterson deep for Atlanta.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Falcons offense set to go. And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Expected the 3rd round. Desmond Ridder is actually the 2nd quarterback drafted in 2022. Might not have that 1st round label, but we saw him make plenty of 1st round throws while at the University of Cincinnati. He's a quick thinker who reads defense as well, and with all he led the Bearcats to, the Falcons also know they picked up a proven winner.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. A nice completion there for the 1st down. And Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game has his team right on the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day 1.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. He'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Another completion there, and what a big moment in a young quarterback's life, that 1st NFL start. And Charles, obviously they want him to win games, but if they're looking at him under a microscope in this first month or so, what do you think they're hoping to see from him?
Well, for every question they'll have for him, they should have for themselves as a coaching staff, because it's not just how quickly can he learn the offense, it's what they can teach him, right? How can he build a relationship with his receivers? And, of course, how open is he to learning? And, of course, how open are they to giving him things that he can put in place on the field?
A first red zone opportunity the new year here as they come up now 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Algier.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Into the hands of London.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a 1st down.
A nice throw right there, and these fans getting their first look at their QB1 of the future. And I imagine it's got to be a big plus for him to get his first start here in front of that home crowd.
I know there's a school of thought about getting your first start away from home so you don't have the extra pressure of that crowd behind you. But I say ride the wave, embrace it. Go ahead and play to that level, and I think it's going to benefit him in the long run.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Patterson. Touchdown, Falcons. Finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints again ready to go on offense. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel.
The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it. And the Falcons grab it. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's got Pruitt. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
Ready.
He'll look to throw. Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Preston Williams, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Falcons have moved out in front. Koo for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up. Then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done. Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Dalton's throw there taken in by Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On 2nd and inches, Dalton. Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, #2, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. 1st and 10 for Dalton. On the check down, he finds Kamara. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. Another chance for Dalton. nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Falcons grab it, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. T. Higgins with 3 touchdown receptions. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting 49ers who are out in front. Brandon Ayuk, a touchdown reception. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Saints. And despite the fact that they're down on the scoreboard, they were able to have some success throwing the football in that opening half. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. It's a new season, so both of these coaching staffs likely making plenty of adjustments after that first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in Week 1, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it and try and win this ball game.
2nd and 13. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Williams. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. Algier now up the middle. We'll get this to about the 38.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Ready, go! Ready.
On 2nd down, a run with Patterson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. He'll drop to throw. Complete to Zacchaeus. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 41-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. 1st and 10, it's Patterson. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Got a man. It's Patterson complete. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Algier going straight ahead. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Patterson, he'll try it up the middle. And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints 21. Calling an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on third and just a yard. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll run with Patterson, and he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On the give, it's Algier. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides, and there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Over the middle, complete. That's Williams. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. So on 4th down, Ritter heads to the sideline. Younghoe Koo gets set for the Atlanta field goal from 28 yards out. Koo knocks this one through the post. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. All things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 46 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing, Dalton. And the catch made by Johnson. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
To throw again on 2nd down, Dalton. He completes it to Olave. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 22 yards there, a 1st down. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. That's caught by Marquez Callaway. And out of bounds right around the 20. Final minute now of the third quarter. Kamara try the right side. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable. You know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Will Lutz now to try the New Orleans field goal. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. The kick by Lutz is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th.
Here we go.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Faster, faster.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
So a nice throw there. And, CD, I have to think you've been impressed with what you've seen thus far here in his debut.
Now, you know me well. I have been impressed because what I've seen is him starting to understand how to play the game in a short amount of time. The dazzling plays, they'll come and with experience. But right now, we're seeing him handle the game, make all the smart plays, and the right reads.
Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Go.
On first down, going back to Patterson.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
Maybe the old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Steal. Check steal.
They're going to look to throw. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Over the middle to Smith.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Dalton. Looking deep downfield. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Chris Olave with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. Lutz good on the extra point, and that gives them a 3-point lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was Chris Olave who finished things off with a touchdown. And here now come the Falcons. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
Ready.
Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready at their own 25-yard line. He'll hand this one off to Gordon. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Ready.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree, all right? But he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. To throw again on 2nd down. Dalton. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
There's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Got an open man. It's Olave. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Not an easy spot here. We'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the 1st. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. 68 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Kamara will score. Touchdown, New Orleans. So a great second effort there as he's able to stay upright and get into the end zone.
I think not just a second effort. I think a third effort was what got him in. Maybe possibly even a fourth.
Yeah, whatever it was, he was not going to be denied. Lutz with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
Let's go.
Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Zacchaeus here hauling it in. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Back to throw now on 1st down. And the grab made by the tight end Pruitt. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw again. And this is going to be incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Hey, check, nigga.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, mistake there by the offense, Charles. They tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick 6.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tabbed as one of the best in the league the prior season.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now. 1st down, and they'll start with Algier. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1, and to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for the Saints, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams.
Look at this dude. Wait till you see the... No, 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 no.